being me. And when I die, let me die with a dream in my mind, a smile on my face and no trouble behind, and no cross on my grave to show my resting place. So I can listen to the wind blow, let blow, let blow, sand over my trail. I got my saddle on the ground, and that old moon, he can still be found, hiding in the desert sky.
So I can watch the moon hiding in the desert sky, hiding in the desert sky, hiding in the desert sky. In the desert sky.
He walks again out of the fog into the smog, relentlessly, ruthlessly.
I wonder where Ruth is.
Doggedly, always meeting with the unknown. At 4th and Drucker, he turns left. At Drucker and 4th, he turns right. He crosses MacArthur Park and walks into a great sandstone building. Oh, my nose! Groping for the door, he steps inside. Climbs the 13 steps to his office. He walks in. He's ready for mystery. He's ready for excitement. He's ready for anything. He's...
DJBEON on Roadhouse Internet Radio.
A role model. He's not even a real human, but rather a disc jockey. Some of the things he does would cause a real person to get hurt, expelled, arrested, or possibly deported. To put it another way, kids, don't try this at home.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome in Roadhouse Internet Radio with me, DJBEON. Yeah, don't try this at home. It takes way too much time out of your hands. You could be doing other things like playing golf or shooting guns or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just, why do I do this? Now, why do I do this? Because of the love of music. That's why I do it. Absolutely fantastic. Start up. This set is pretty much going to be kind of a DJ choice. I'm not going to be all radical with it or anything like that. I'm just going to do some kind of tunes that throughout the years I come across and played. How many years now? 14 years. That's all I did. 12, 14. Who's counting? Some tunes that I kind of rolled across I kind of like. So I'm doing a DJ choice set here. So hope you guys enjoy it. So head of your way, have Child of Vision. Is kind of cool. Which was done by Robert Hudson, which is, if you know him, he's pretty much, when you say Roger, it's Supertramp, right? So we have a song from Child of Vision, Head of Your Way. And we have a kind of a deep cut here with David Draymond. It's kind of cool. If you don't know who David Draymond is, he is a lead singer from Disturbed, and he's doing a song that was done way back in the day. He's doing a remake of The Sounds of Silence. Absolutely fantastic. Later on, I'm rolling through different this and the other. But pretty much a set where you can sit back, put your feet up, relax, and hope you enjoy. Be me, DJBEON, right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio.
Well, Sound of Silence.
Yes.
I couldn't. Whenever I heard that the very first time, I couldn't believe that I was hearing that for a couple reasons. Number one, it's one of the best songs ever written, in my opinion. Super powerful, and maybe I'm wrong. Your voice is a very distinct sound, and not of Simon and Garfunkel's type sound.
No,
Would I be
not
correct?
true.
Okay. So was it intimidating to sing a song that was that raw and that pulled back and just in your face, kind of?
Incredibly.
I would imagine.
Especially because it was such a timeless classic and one of the biggest hits of all time. Very daunting.
Yeah.
And, it was really very experimental. When Mike first suggested the song to begin
Oh, he
with,
suggested, okay.
he had been raised with that as like one of the songs that his parents played in the background during like chores at the house when it was time for them to do what they needed to do. And lyrically, the song just made so much sense in terms of it being applicable to our writing style.
It's the way you write. If you really break it down and think about it, it matches.
Lyrically,
Yeah,
certainly.
absolutely.
Initially, I thought we were going to approach it in the manner that we've approached most of our covers, to make it more upbeat, more staccato, more rhythmic, more aggressive. And it was actually Danny's strong suggestion to not do that, and to keep it ambient and ethereal and acoustic and orchestral.
Yeah.
And I was very hesitant with that direction, but inspired by it at the same time.
It's a challenge, right?
Incredibly huge challenge to try and pay homage to a song and do a version of it that is in the same world as the original.
Right.
Very challenging. And also to go to a place vocally that I had not allowed myself to go since I was a very young man. I mean, we had an acoustic track on the Believe record called Darkness, but we hadn't done anything like that really since that record, because during that time I think the environment was a little bit different, and as wonderful as a song as I think it is, and as many of the Disturbed fans that truly fell in love with it, there were many that just wanted the heavy stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And so maybe the timing wasn't right. But that made us hesitant for a while to go back to that zone. And even then, I hadn't gone back to my original schooling. I've become a better vocalist over the course of time by learning how to incorporate my classical teaching roots with the rock delivery that's necessary. So when I used to be able to deliver just a edgy, gritty, distorted sort of vocal sound naturally using a very complicated technique, achieving vibrato at the same time as delivering it wasn't within my power back then. And over the course of my career, I've learned how to incorporate the two. I've had some amazing teachers like Melissa Cross, who's one of my mentors, and she's just fantastic, in my opinion, one of the best vocal coaches in the business. It was Kevin who came up with that intro piano line. And he played it for me, and it was instantly inspiring. And I had already tracked another song that day, and had no plans of doing anything else. And but I heard the piano line, and I'm like, okay, Kevin, let's find a key where we can do that octave shift that I do in the middle of the song. And we found a comfortable one, and it's still quite a long range of note progression. So it was challenging one way or the other. And I went into the vocal booth for the longest vocal session of my entire career.
How long?
3 hours.
Oof.
Typically I'm done with a song in about 5 takes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's great. That's super fast.
I'm normally done in about an hour, sometimes less. Because I do my homework ahead of time.
Of course.
But I had no idea where we were going to go with this, really.
Yeah.
I had a few, pre-rehearsed ideas of some melodic variations and attack variations and rhythmic variations that I wanted to try, but nothing I was set on. So it was a lot of experimenting and just trying different ways of singing it, different patterns of melody, different runs. And after I came out of there, and it was the only session in my entire career where Dan and Mike were present in the control room while I was tracking the entire time. Normally I have no one around, and it's just me and the producer. And I came out of that vocal booth into the control room and saw the looks on their faces, and it was like they had all seen a ghost. So I figured I had done
You
something
knew
right.
you had hit something, yeah.
And then it took Kevin 3 days to comp everything.
Really?
Because there were so many different takes and versions. And he finally played it for me once he had picked out everything that he liked best. And contrary to some people's ridiculous assumption that the thing is auto-tuned, there's not an ounce of pitch correction or
you
auto-tune
can tell
on
it's
the
not
entire
auto-tuned.
track.
Yeah, if you know anything about
a lot of people
recording.
who aren't used to hearing
Right,
my voice
right.
automatically assume that that was what was done to make it sound that way.
Okay,
But
yeah.
if they come see us live any night we perform it, they'll know that's not the case.
Yeah.
And then he played it for me, and I played it 3 times before giving him a reaction or even turning around from the control board.
Oh, wow.
So he got very nervous. He thought I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then when I turned around, I was already all misty-eyed. And,
Wow.
I thanked him, and I'm like, dude, this is beautiful, and thank you for encouraging me to go down this path. And, it's so gratifying and so much like almost as if a weight had been lifted off my shoulders.
I think it brings so many new people into the Disturbed world because so many people have these preconceived notions about metal music and not realizing how much of what you were just talking about goes into, a performance and recording and all that. So it really opens you guys up to that.
Yeah, I love it. I love the new demographic that we're reaching. I love that people who've never heard of us before are suddenly saying to themselves, who are these guys?
Yeah.
I love that, I'm getting... it's finally a song that I can play for my family and my parents that they don't have to be afraid of.
Yeah.
It's nice, but even though it is as approachable as it is, it still has
darkness,
that.
my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you, take my arms that I might reach you, but my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming, and the sign
and certain words on the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls and whispered in the sound of silence.
Disturbed to the sounds of silence right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio. Wow, what a voice. I taught him everything he knows about singing. Yeah, right. When I start singing, every cat in the whole world comes over. Yum, yum, yum. I'm like a Pied Piper of cats. What I'm doing here is kind of a DJ choice. Not really radical, like I said before, but little songs I kind of enjoy. Whatever. I have two coming up from, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this band before. It's kind of cool. Porcupine Tree. Really cool band. Kind of look them up. You need to. You'll see why here in a minute. Got two back-to-back. Porcupine Tree. This one is Stars Die and Train. Absolutely brilliant. You're listening to Roadhouse Internet Radio with me and DJBEON.
Gentle fire, the ocean glazed and melted wire, voices buzzed in spiral eyes, stars dived in blinding skies.
And you are tuned in with DJBEON, playing the deep cuts.
Drawing sad and much spite under the blind. Shiny and contoured, the railway winds. And I've heard this sound from my cousin's bed, the hiss of the train at the railway head. Always the summers are slipping away.
subsides, I'm in luck. When the evening reaches here, you're tying me up. I'm dying of love, it's okay.
Welcome to Roadhouse Internet Radio. Just now walked in the studio is my producer. I always call him producer, Mr. Producer Rick. Hey, Rick, how's it going?
What's up?
You had just now stated something about B.B. King. Can you kind of repeat what you said?
Well, he played an open tuning, and when I first started playing, I realized I couldn't play chords. My fingers are fat and short, kind of like other parts of my body. But I found out there's something to be said about playing an open tuning. You can tune your guitar in a D, and with 2 strings, 1 string, 1 bar on the neck, you can change the whole sound or change your chords. And anybody who knows music would disagree with me because they're music theory Nazis that say that's not how you play, but there's something to be said for playing in open tuning. Not that I know anything about it, I just play it.
And you play bass, right?
I play bass too, yeah.
And you started, I seen something that you had posted that you were trying to violin.
I got a violin too.
How'd that work for you?
I tried to learn Happy Birthday. That was fun. Harmonica, I could do Happy Birthday on a harmonica very easily.
Not the violin?
Violin, I ain't got shit.
Where'd you get the violin from?
I bought it on, what is that called? Facebook Marketplace in a Rite Aid parking lot. It's a
place to buy
It's a mini Suzuki, and I basically bought it just for the bow, so I could use the bow on my electric guitar. I didn't care about the violin, but since I had it, I thought, why not try and play it? I can't play it. It sits in a box, and I use the bow. Bass is different, though. That's totally a different setup. I can't strum chords, and you can do that, but I haven't learned that.
You do on bass. You don't do like these people I see that use a pick on bass. You don't do that, right?
Sometimes, depending.
What?
Yeah, I use my bass pick on my guitar sometimes, depending on how aggressive I feel.
Why would you use a pick on a bass?
You just get more of a pop, I guess. Right. It's a thicker bass or thicker pick. And
you're not an old school like.
I've tried to finger pop, and I'm learning.
So banjo's out of the question.
I thought about it. That's 4 strings and 4 fingers. It seems a lot easier. No, that's Steve Martin. But yeah, back to open tuning. I think that's an easier way to play, and I'm not a music theorist. And like I said, most music theorists would disagree with me. Tough shit, you know. I play to have fun, not to make money.
So when you went into playing bass, how long, can you say how long it was ago when you decided all of a sudden, okay, I want to play bass?
Well, a brother-in-law sort of thing of mine was selling his bass, and I played it for about 6 months without an amp. And when I bought an amp, I kind of got a feel for it. And then I got an amp, and it changed everything.
Oh, I sure did. The neighbors loved it.
It's not a cordless bass.
We're talking to my producer, my new producer, Mr. Rick. I always call him Mr. Rick. He's been supplying me with CDs and ideas and songs. And he brought a bag over a couple months back. It's the Beatles live at the BBC and the Rolling Stones. There it is right there. Rarities, which is absolutely fantastic. So recently he said, hey, you really need to play to play a couple things. So I did, and it worked out great. I had a lot more listeners on the radio, and it worked out great. So what was your influences growing up on music-wise? What was your main deal?
You know, in the 80s, I hated rock and roll. I hated everything that came out except for the Cars. The 80s were the worst years of rock and roll. And then along came the 90s with grunge, Metallica, Nirvana, then I kind of got back into rock. But what influenced me once I started really listening back, going back to see who these guys were covering and who influenced them, it was the blues. So that got me back, took me a little deeper into Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy, B.B. King, of course, because he played open tuning, so that was one that I naturally gravitated to learn. And it was just, he was like the number one influence on me, because I can't play. I've never played an instrument in my life. And in the last 6-7 years, there's been some things in my life that made me steer toward, another. I can't play golf anymore. I don't have any fun with that, so.
There's no fun going four.
I gotta stop having fun. So as long as I'm having fun, I'm gonna keep playing, and I'm gonna keep buying everything I can think of to get, and find something I'm good at. And bass has been, I got 2 basses, and they're both, they're tuned different, but the bass is a bass. They don't go out of tune. I don't have to get them tuned. But my 6 strings, I got 2 6 strings, 2 electrics, and I always got new strings on them, so they have to be retuned all the time. You know what I mean? Because I get a little aggressive with that bass pick when I get, a lot of anxiety built up and I start really banging.
Pick again on bass. I just can't handle that.
Yeah, I don't have a big amp, so it doesn't really rattle the windows much.
It's like the old story. The bass player said he got his car broke in. He left his bass in the car, and he's got his car broke into that following night. Somebody smashed his window and left another bass.
I would do it. I would do that.
People always dog bass players for some reason. I don't know what. But
yeah, that makes sense.
So your whole thing is evolving around B.B. King, pretty much? Or?
As far as 6-string, yeah, bass was Flea and various other. The bass players aren't famous, man. You don't know who the bass players are. I mean, John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin. That's one of the first ones I picked up on my own. Was Dazed and Confused, because it's so easy. And just whatever hit my hands, drink a few beers and smoke a little of that weed, and all of a sudden I got a song in my head or in my hand, and I just kept playing. Actually, what else did I come out? I started out with White Rabbit, of all songs. It was one of the first songs I learned on my own.
Usually it's
White Rabbit,
Stairway to Heaven with...
Yeah, well, John Paul Jones, I can't keep up with any of them guys, man. I mean, when they're doing their simple shit, it's simple. When they get into the complications, I stop and listen, see if I can catch up next time.
Well, I really appreciate Mr. Rick, producer. You're giving me a heads up on work, because the ideas that you have, I went and pushed forward on the radio, of course.
I appreciate that, man.
And it seems to be, at one point, I was not getting all these hits. And also, the suggestions you gave, I got more people going, wow, what is this, So I do appreciate that.
Give that to Larry Allen, man, because he was the one that put a lot of them songs in my head over the years.
Larry Allen.
Songs that I'd never heard of. I'd hear on All Request Saturday night.
I do miss Larry Allen. Larry Allen was a local radio personality that did Larry Allen's All Request on WMMQ. And he did that for
all of our lives.
How many years?
All of our lives, basically.
26 years?
Longer than that. He went back to 101 FM back in the 70s.
It was, he said that WMMQ 94.9 was the very first FM radio station.
Classic rock.
Yes,
that's true.
It is not true. I asked him about that.
In the nation, yeah.
He said, no, it wasn't. It used to be, it was another station someplace else.
It was 101, but they were just album rock.
Yeah, but he wasn't, he told me it wasn't the very first classic rock station. Okay. But it was close. But it's something he told me about that is why they classified it as that.
Well, they claim to be. They claim to be the first rock or classic rock station in the nation. So, I mean, if somebody
But it
else
was
can...
with Larry Allen. I had the honor of meeting a guy just like you. I had met him, and the guy was just fantastic.
He had a brain like a record player.
If I had a question, I asked him. A little stupid question I had him was, "Man for Man," something about Man for Man, Earth Band, and he just instantly responded back to me. His brain's so full of, which at one time he wanted to put the radio station in his house because he had all the CDs for
I think he did have a studio in his house.
Yes, he did.
I think he did.
He wanted to get permission from the producer to change over so he wouldn't have to go to the studio.
Yeah, he had to bring all of his his bleep. Bring his bleep with him.
So they wouldn't let him do it. And he had passed away.
You know who else is like that? Neil. Neil's a Wurlitzer. You can tell him a song and he can play it.
Neil's a friend of ours that used to be my old roommate. That always been playing guitar.
I've learned a lot from him. He plays chords and he's very good at it. Or he plays it very well. My other friend Tony, who tunes my guitars, he strings my guitars. He's the one that tunes me and open whatever. If I hear, but Neil is a Wurlitzer that can play it. You can tell him and he can play it.
We're sitting here talking to Mr. Rick. I don't know if he likes me call him Mr. Rick.
And don't call me late for beer.
My new producer. I'm going to wrap it up here. It's kind of getting dragging a little bit long, but you got any more suggestions on what needs or should be played on Beon's mess?
Man, my mind's racing now. I mean, I've been listening to John Prine lately. I just got a double disc, John Prine, The Good Old Days, or something like that. But I mean, that's more of a country beat thing. And I actually got a double DVD or CD. That's pretty good. I've been listening to a lot of him. He gets you up. You know what I mean? He get your mood up. He's a storyteller. And he tells some funny stories, tells some sad stories. You'll cry and you'll laugh all in the same song, all in 4 minutes. You'll cry at first, and then you'll laugh your ass off. Well, that was he was a storyteller. And he told a lot of stories really well.
I did that set. Which set was that? I can't remember now. But it was the one set you didn't like, you didn't care for. You said the audience
snappy bubblegum boo-hoo journey shit.
But I wish you kind of listened to that. It was. I gave you a big shout out at the end. It was. I don't want a pickle. Just
Arlo Guthrie, yeah. He quit. He said adios, man. He's done. He cashed in. He's still alive, but he said, I'm done. I don't know if he's sick or I haven't really looked into it, but thanks for everything, Arlo.
Yeah, it's like a lot of bands.
Yeah, I did that. I played that song at a biker bar one night and almost got in a fight. I kept hitting the guy's pool stick because he was right next to me, and I don't want a pickle.
You're like somebody with a fishing pole or something, grab the back of a wiglet.
Then I think I pissed on his BMW.
Right.
You ain't no biker.
You drive a BMW. All right. You've been listening to me, DJBEON, right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio Interview Loft. Had Mr. Rick, my new producer. Appreciate you dropping in.
Thank you.
And we'll close.
Oh, there he goes. Mr. Rick, my producer, dropped by earlier. Did a little interview with him. Kind of cool. Yeah, he definitely kind of helps out a lot. This radio station really does. But it was kind of cool sitting back and yapping with him for a little bit. So that's how it went.
Anyway, next is some Tennessee whiskey, and also have some Three Dog Night. Never been to Spain. Nope, never been there. And I also have some Toto lined up for you. Little Toto, a little kind of different song here is Bottom of Your Soul with me, DJBEON.
Let's go.
I don't need the words.
Oh. Thinking.
So I can drown myself. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom, brought me back from being too far gone. You're as sweet as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay strong on your love all the time. Yeah. See, I've been looking for love in all the same old places. Found the bottom of the bottle's always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. You're as sweet as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy.
You're listening to DJBEON on Roadhouse Internet Radio.
I never been to Spain, but I kinda like the music. See, the ladies are insane there, and they sure know how to use it. They don't abuse it, never gonna lose it. I can't refuse it. Well, I never been to England, but I kinda like the Beatles. Well, I hit it for Las Vegas, only made it out to meet us. Can you feel it? Must be real, it feels so good. Oh, feels so good. Well, I never been to heaven, but I've been to Oklahoma.
you ever seen the look in a hungry child's eyes? They can't eat money or promises. Give them your smile, try holding out your hand. Let them know you're there. Let them know you're there. Why is it always the ones that we love are the ones that will never come home? Why must all of
Toto right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio with me, DJBEON, bottom of your soul. Toto was formed back in 1977. He's associated with Steely Dan and Michael McDonald. And there's somebody else here. Oh, Stills and Croft. Absolutely fantastic. Before I go any further, I gotta give a big old shout out to Tammy. Hey Tammy, what's going on? I remember meeting Tammy back, what was that? I don't know, 7 years ago. My producer Rick set me up with a blind date, and we met up at a restaurant. That's when I kind of first met Tammy. And the blind date and I didn't get along. It didn't work out. We sat down, and she knew and I knew, nope, not happening. So that went well. But I do remember back when I appreciate producer Rick, Mr. Rick, for setting me up with that blind date, but no. It's just some things just don't happen, do they? But just anyways, I just wanted to do a big old shout out to Tammy. Hope you're doing well. So what I'm doing here is the producer set pick, I guess you want to call it. I'm just kind of picking tunes that I kind of enjoyed, and throughout what I played throughout the years. Head Your Way is, if you ever listen to my program or kind of know what's going on here, I just totally adore Styx. Always did, and Journey, Steve Perry. So I got to kind of throw this one in here is Crystal Ball, Styx. And following that, we have Dire Straits, the Solstice Swing, right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio.
I used to like to walk the straight and narrow line. I used to think that everything was fine. Sometimes I'd sit and gaze for days through sleepless dreams, all alone and trapped in time. All alone and trapped in time. I wonder what tomorrow has in mind for me, or am I even in its mind at all? Perhaps I'll get a chance to look ahead and see, soon as I find myself a crystal ball. Soon as I find myself a crystal ball. Well, tell me where I'm going. I don't know where I've been. Tell me, won't you tell me, and then tell me again. My heart is breaking, my body's aching, and I don't know where to go. So tell me, won't you tell me? I just gotta know.
listening to Roadhouse Internet Radio.
Dire Straits, Sultan Swings right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio with me, DJBEON. And I always do say this, why? Because I mean it. I don't care if you're from Japan, China, Russia, Mexico, United States, Asia, Iran, Iraq. Appreciate you guys tuning in to Roadhouse Internet Radio. I know you have about 3 different radio stations you can tune into. I just really appreciate you dropping your ears and supporting us right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio. Heavyweight next, Eric Clapton, Traveling Lights. Absolutely fantastic song. And following that, we have Led Zeppelin's going to let us know how the West was won. You're listening to me, DJBEON, right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio.
Hey, Beon, I got it up.
You got it up.
I had to show him how to do it.
I got that low. Up a go higher, all above. Take my seat, right way back low. Watch this train rolling down the track. And bring it on home, bring it on home to you. Gonna bring it all home. Bring it all to you. Do it, children. Oh, see ya.
There you go, Led Zeppelin, How the West Was Won. Apparently to Led Zeppelin, the West was won by drums, lead guitars, basses, and somebody screaming in the mic. Yes, that's how the West was won. I thought it was won by guns, big guns, like 45s. Pew, 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 pew. All right, getting pretty close to the end of my set here. I do have a couple left. This one coming up next is from Three Dog Night, The Road to Shambhala. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to leave this last one. I got to do an introduction to it. So here you go. Three Dog Night, right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio.
Wash away my troubles, wash away my pain with the rain and Shambhala. Wash away my sorrow, wash away my shame with the rain and Shambhala. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Everyone is helpful, everyone is kind on the road to Shambhala. Everyone is lucky, everyone is so kind on the road to Shambhala. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. How does your light shine in the halls of Shambhala? How does your light shine in the halls of Shambhala? I can tell my sister by the flowers in her eyes on the road to Shambhala. I can tell my brother by the flowers in his eyes on the road to Shambhala. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. How does your light shine in the halls of Shambhala? How does your light shine in the halls of Shambhala? Tell me, how does your light shine in the halls of Shambhala? Tell me, how does your light shine in the halls of Shambhala? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, on the road to Shambhala. Oh,
Oh, here you go. Kind of rest of my set right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio with me, DJBEON. Doing
I guess the DJ choice. Last song, this goes out to kind of, I guess it does go out to Mr. Rick, my producer. I did a set with Christopher Cross, and he says he absolutely hates Christopher Cross. But I wish he would change his mind, because he spent a lot of time with Alan Parsons, and if you listen to some of his songs, he's got that kind of Alan Parsons kind of mix-up, because he spent so much time with Alan Parsons. So, each his own. Some songs, like, for example, The Doors. I will not listen to The Doors. I will not. If you request The Doors, I will not play The Doors. I don't care if they're tied into Alan Parsons. I don't care. But I get it. I understand. But anyways. But anyways, he had missed, because I did a 2-part set of this. I did Christopher Cross, and also did Arlo Guthrie on that set. And I was kind of hoping he would catch this this song that I played. When he's over here for the interview, I told him, I played a song for you. Well, it was Christopher Cross you're playing. I go, no, the other part of it. But I'll go ahead and play it right now. It's kind of ongoing joke between both of us. I don't want a pickle, just want to roll. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and play that, and this is going out to my producer, Mr. Rick. Hope you enjoy right here on Roadhouse Internet Radio.
I don't want a pickle, just want to ride on the motorcycle. And I don't want a tickle, I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, just want to ride on the motorcycle. It's been about 12 years now that I've been singing this dumb song. It's amazing. It's amazing that somebody could get away with singing a song this dumb for that long. But hey, what's more amazing than that is that somebody could make a living singing a song this dumb. But that's America. I told about everything there was to tell about it. When I wrote it, how come, why, what for. But the one thing that I always used to neglect to explain was the significance of the pickle. It was the time I was riding my bike. I was going down a mountain road. I was doing 150 miles an hour. On one side of the mountain road, there was a mountain. And on the other side, there was nothing. It was just a cliff in the air. But I wasn't paying attention, I was just driving down the road. All of a sudden, by accident, a string broke off my guitar. It broke, right there, went flying across the road that way, wrapped itself around a yield sign. Well, the sign didn't break, it didn't come out the ground. The string stayed wrapped around it, stayed in the other end of my guitar. I held on to my guitar with one hand. I held on to the bike with the other. I made a sharp turn off the road. Luckily, I didn't go into the mountain. I went over the cliff. I was doing 150 miles an hour sideways and 500 feet down at the same time. Hey, I was looking for the cops. Because, I knew that, it was illegal. Well, I knew that was it. I knew I didn't have long to live in this world. And in my last remaining seconds in the world, I knew that it was my obligation to write one last farewell song to the world. Took out a piece of paper, I pulled out a pen, and it didn't write. I had to put another ink cartridge in it. I sat back and I thought a while, and then it come to me. It come like a flash, like a vision, burnt across the clouds. I just wrote it down. I learned it right away. I don't want a pickle, just want to ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to tickle, I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, just want to ride on my motorcycle. Hey, I knew it wasn't the best song I ever wrote, but I didn't have time to change it. But the most amazing thing was that I didn't die. I landed on the top of a police car, and it died. I come into town at a screaming 175 miles an hour, singing my new motorcycle song. I stopped out front of the deli, and out front of the deli was a man eating the most tremendous pickle. A pickle the size of 4 pregnant watermelons. Just a huge monster pickle. He walked up to me, pushed a pickle in my face, and started asking me questions. It was about the same time I noticed a pickle in my face. I noticed a cord hanging from the long end of the pickle, going up his sleeve, down his shirt, into his pants and shoes, out into a briefcase he had near his feet. I knew it wasn't an ordinary pickle. But it was about the same time I noticed the cord hanging out of the pickle that a 4-foot cop arrived with a 5-foot gun. A cop that one time must have been around 6'3", but was met at the bottom of a mountain by a flying, singing, writing weirdo freak. He walked up and with one tremendous hand, he grabbed the pickle away from the other guy. He threw it 100 feet straight up in the air. And while the pickle was halfway between going up and coming down, he took out his gun and put a 3-inch bullet hole right through the long end of the pickle. It started coming back down. He stuck out his foot. He caught the pickle on his big toe. And balancing the pickle on his big toe, he reached his huge hand into his little pocket, pulled out a 10-foot ticket. He borrowed my pen. He wrote it up. Then he rolled it up and stuffed it in the bullet hole in the middle of the pickle. Took the pickle with the ticket and shoved it down my throat. It was at that very moment that the pickle with the ticket was going down my throat that I knew for sure that I didn't want a pickle. I don't want a pickle. I just want to ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want a tickle. I'd rather ride on my motorcycle. And I don't want to die. Just want to ride on my motorcycle.
It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Till next time, it's me, DJBEON. Like always, dedicate this next song to each and one of you guys. Later, Gators. Appreciate you.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
I'm not ashamed to say I hope it always will stay this way.
My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend.
a car you like.
I'd surely buy you a Cadillac.
Whatever you need, any time of the day or night.
I'm not ashamed to say
I hope it always will stay this way. My hat is off, won't you stand up and take a bow?
And when we both get older,
with the walking canes and hair of gray, have no fear, even though it's hard to hear. I will stand real close and say thank you for being a friend. 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 Let me tell you about a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend.
you'll hear me call
As we ascend,
I'll see you there.
then once again,
Thank you for being there.